guys, welcome back to my first video that is going to be for this series of spring cleaning. I have been asked so much on Instagram to go ahead and do something like this, and I finally got the courage to put together kind of like a list and a schedule for myself that I was going to be friendly to everything that I have going on at home. If you guys are from Instagram, you know that I work from home, my husband works from home, my kiddos are homeschooled, and we are always home. And so we have to find that really happy in between of things that we have to do that are priorities, like our kids' school and lessons, and then our work, of course, and lastly, our home. And so I really had to narrow everything down, and I'm happy to say that I finally got something done. So on today's video, I am going to be focusing on my kitchen. In the back, you can kind of see the mess from breakfast, and so there's going to be a lot of deep cleaning areas like the sinks, the cabinets. I have really dark cabinets, and so they all need a lot of help. They can get really grimy. I know a lot of people say white is bad. Dark cabinets are really bad. And the floors, appliances, all of that is going to get a good cleaning. So I'm going to take you guys along, and let's get through it. Okay guys, so I always like to start with my sink and my dishwasher, and this area can get pretty grimy, so I usually take everything out of the counters. I start by removing all the stuff on my coffee area, and then I give everything a good wipe down because otherwise it's going to be full of soap. So when it comes to my dishwasher, I like to make sure that I clean the filter. And you can actually, for most of them, I think, can take out the filter. It's at the very bottom. It's going to be a little knob. You turn it sideways. It'll come out and you'll be able to actually hand wash this part. And it's important because a lot of food gets stuck in here. And if you're not taking care of it, it can actually create a very gross smell because it creates like a slime of food. So when I do these monthly cleanings and I'm taking care of this for spring cleaning, I just like to give it a good scrub and a good scrub around the areas where food is accumulating, which is usually on the edges. Rinse it down and just run a rinse cycle because it desperately needed it, guys. It was so gross in there. But it's good to always give your cleaners a clean. That way you maintain them and you extend the life of them. Now, my sink needed so much love, and I always think it's important that when you're cleaning the sink, you give the faucet a good wiping down too. And basically, I'm prepping the area here to give that a good washing. I really dislike the sinks that have the little hedges that kind of food gets stuck on the side because I have to get different tools to kind of wipe that down. But I've just been using the Dawn dish soap, the spray soap. I spray it all down. I use a Scrub Daddy and I just go and wipe everything down.
Now, for me, cleaning the sink is crucial. I try to do this at the end of each night because there's always food and I dislike the way it smells when it just sits here. But when I'm doing a deep cleaning, I like to focus more on the water faucet and actually get in there because there was so much grime in there. Mine you can pull out, and these little hedges get a lot of food stuck in there if that splatters into it. So I think it's important that you get that section. Again, a little soap and a little brush will do it. So nothing fancy. You're able to just kind of get in there and get all of that food out. Now, it's also very important that you're deodorizing the food disposal area. I have had so many people tell me that even though it's called the food disposal or the shredding disposal, whatever, you genuinely are not supposed to let food go in there if you don't want any issues with it. So I just make sure that I deodorize it. I got these Arm& Hammer packets from Dollar Tree and they smell like lemon. They smell so good and they just completely deodorize that section with me without me having to do any of the vinegar stuff that I typically do. Now, for my cabinets, I need something that has a sort of oil finish to it, and I needed to dust all of them. So I get up there and I start dusting everything. I usually dust from top to bottom. So here you'll see me taking out these window coverings because they have been breaking. Um, the window area gets stuck and it broke, and I just need to replace them. So I ended up ordering these clear vinyl, kind of like decals that you put on the window. They didn't arrive today, so when they arrive, I'm gonna install them and I'll show you guys what the end product is. But I felt like there was just so much light coming in. I always feel like my kitchen's super dark, and so when I took these off, I immediately noticed that it was the window coverings that were causing too much darkness. And even if I was opening it halfway, it still didn't feel as bright as it does now. So I'm happy to have these back. I have to admit that it was actually very daunting having to clean all of the cabinets. I typically would have used a Swiffer and put a microfiber on it and just reached out, but there was a lot of dust and I just felt like if I actually did it by hand, I would feel a lot better about it. So I was able to clear that, and then I would do the bottom parts, but you always want to start from top to bottom because all of that dust is falling down. I felt like this cleaner did really good. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I ended up using a polisher for stainless steel and it worked really good. I was actually very excited. It was from Spray Away. Obviously, it's not meant for that, but it was a polishing and it came with like a lot of oils in it and it did really good. Would I recommend for you to do it? Please don't. It was the last thing I had on me and it was really good. So that's what I used. And here I'm just starting to get some vinegar ready for my microwave because I will let it steam in there and then I will go in and wash it and just clean it all up. And here you'll see me again, just kind of going top to bottom because all of that dust is falling to the bottom. I will say I kind of don't like the microwave where it is now because I just realized just how sticky it's made those cabinets right there because when the fan turns on for the stove, it spews it out of that little section right there and then it ends up going up to those cabinets. So I wasn't too thrilled about it. Also, if you saw me wafting that down, it's because the vinegar was very strong smelling and I caught a big whiff of it. So now I'm going to go in and just clean the microwaves outside. I like to go in with a microfiber and a little bit of spray away on the glass section. I never spray the control panels because it can damage them. And then I'll go in and cleaning the stuff. So now that all of my counters are done, I'm going to focus on my kitchen island, which is pretty straightforward. I just like to remove everything and give it a good washing. I typically don't wash it and just wipe it down, but it has been a good minute since I've given it a good washing. So I'll use some soap and a sponge and just kind of give it a good scrub and then use a microfiber to clean it and wipe it down. Usually with the type of counters that I have, I need to use something that is non-acidic because it is porous and it was never sealed. So the stains and stuff like that can go in there. I tried sealing it shortly after purchasing the house with my husband, but it didn't really do the job. So now I'm just really careful on how I clean it and anything that sits on it so that it doesn't end up staining it. And then microfibers seem to be the way to go, which is nice. But once I'm done with the island, I like to focus on the floors, the mopping, and the vacuuming, and that's it. That's it for the deep spring cleaning. I think